Hi, I'm Tim Kane, the entertainment editor at the Herald and Review in Decatur, Illinois, and I'm at my desk. Bob Dylan, on May 24th, turns 70 years old. And I talk a lot about musicians as they age and stuff like that. The thing I'm interested in about Bob Dylan is it's become okay and fashionable to criticize him. Not that I have a problem with anybody criticizing him. I mean, first of all, if Dylan isn't your thing, he isn't your thing. If his voice annoys you, if you find his lyrics too obscure, or if you find the people who follow him too much like acolytes, too much hero worship, I get all that. But you know what? There was a time, within my lifetime, and it may be 30 years now that we're past it, but there was a time in my lifetime where you didn't dare criticize Bob Dylan, because pretty much as popular musicians went, he was the one who walked on water. And if you were going to criticize him, there were going to be a whole bunch of people who were going to light into you about it. I've had a fair number of people who are close to me criticize Dylan and indirectly criticize my enjoyment of the guy's work. I've been endlessly amused to see what he's been doing lately. And the exclamation point for my amusement was getting a chance last fall to see him perform over in Champaign. He performed, there were probably 5,000 or 6,000 people in the audience. And for some people who are close to me, that was appalling. They thought that the crowd should have been much larger. And I had no problem with the crowd being what it was. I'm not really sure that anybody who's a musician gets a crowd commensurate with what they deserve. I'm not sure that Lady Gaga deserves to have 20,000 people watching her right now. I'm not sure that U2 ever deserves to have 60 or 80,000 people watching them, but that's the way it goes. The bigger things have become events. You're not necessarily there for the music. Some people are, of course, but many people are there more for the spectacle. And to be able to say, I saw U2, I saw Gaga, I saw the Rolling Stones, whatever it is. So if Bob Dylan is playing in front of 5,000 or 6,000 people who really want to listen to him, to me that's better than being in front of an audience 4 times that size that are just going to see him just because they want to say that they had a chance to see him. And Bob Dylan has been on what he calls the never-ending tour for more than 20 years now. It just goes on and on and on. If you wanted to see Bob Dylan in the last 20 years, he's been within driving distance of where you are. So that's fine. I also find it interesting that the way that Dylan is performing on stage now is basically to not acknowledge the crowd at all. Playing for an hour and a half or so in Champaign. Once he said thank you. Or he said thank you. And the rest of the time was just one song into the next. Very little interaction with the musicians, very little interaction with the audience. Again, that bothers some of the people who've talked to me about Dylan. They think it's a lack of respect for the audience. Again, I don't have any problem with it. My feeling is he's Bob Dylan. He can do what he wants. But I guess that kind of makes me an acolyte. I'm Tim Kane. I'm at my desk.